Hi, Whitney, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, we should be ready to go.
Well, I'll bring the meeting to order then. We'll start with an approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And make sure you're talking into your microphone really well today so they can hear you on the Zoom meeting.
Can you hear me now?
Can I get a second?
Craig, just so you know, I have to do a Zoom meeting for like the next 30 to 60 minutes. Oh, Stratton.
Okay, all those in favor?
I can't hear you, Christy. Is your microphone on?
Yeah, says it is. Hello? Still can't hear me, huh?
There, that's better.
Now? Okay, man, right in. Okay. All those in favor of approving the agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Approval of the minutes from last meeting? Everybody get a chance to look over them? Any additions or corrections? Or?
Can you guys hear on the Zoom?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Anybody want a second?
I can second that.
All those in favor of approval of the minutes from the last meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? New member introductions.
So we have a new member on our Zoom meeting right now. It is Tanya Klingemann. Do you want to introduce yourself, Tanya, to the board, and we'll have the rest of the board introduce themselves to you?
Sure. Tanya Klingemann. I own Exit Realty Mitchell. We opened it about a year ago. My husband and I also own North Central Seed Company. We have, I don't know, it's been in his family since 1959. Pretty much lifelong residents of Mitchell, except for when we went to college. Our kids grew up here. I don't know what else you need to know.
Perfect, thank you. Whitney, will you go next?
Sure. I'm Whitney Kropa. I am a social worker with Avera Medical Group at the Avera Grassland Clinic, and I sit on the board for Balanced Transit. And I don't know what our meetings look like this winter, but I am expecting in December that I don't think I've told this group yet, but I will be gone then for a couple months, so I will not be present probably from December to February.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I'll go with you, Bonnie, next.
Bonnie Scott. I work at First Circuit CASA. I've been in Mitchell for several years. Previously worked at LifeQuest for many years. Too many to count.
I'm Christy Bitterman. I'm the president of this group right now, and I work for Oakleaf Property Management at Greenridge Apartments. I'm a service coordinator there. On the board, I'm here for nutrition meals.
My name's Cole Morgan. I'm an attorney at Daily Law here in Mitchell. Born and raised. I'm a new member of this committee too, so I'm still trying to figure things out.
Over here. John's hiding.
I'm John Dosher. I'm the liaison to this group, representing the city council.
Thank you, everyone.
Next is going to be the Transit Summer Bus Pass.
In your packet, you can see our summer bus pass sales. This is something we've been doing for a few years. I know during new board member orientation, I addressed this. This year went pretty good. We had great sales. We're picking up from pre-pandemic because last year didn't go very well with the pandemic. And you can see our ridership. We had 816 rides just with that summer bus pass. We heard so many good and positive things about this, especially from parents trying to get their kids to and from activities. We actually had a lot of swim team kids participate in this because they got them to the outdoor swimming pool.
That would be very beneficial. Anything else on that? So South Dakota DOT CRRSAA grant,
So
whatever that means.
The CRRSAA, they call it CRISA grant. And you can see this nice, long attachment, 25-page attachment is a grant agreement between us and the state of South Dakota that was approved by City Council at a City Council meeting. And if I get to my last page, page 25, we have $2,028.54 of federal money with no local share, no local match, that we will utilize for PPE, and PPE is personal protective equipment.
Okay.
And we'll use that for cleaning supplies and anything we need to keep our staff and our buses safe.
Okay. And they've already received that money, or is it coming yet, or?
We have to submit as we purchase things.
Okay, perfect. Makes sense. Okay. Calais Transit Bus Grant.
Also in the packet, 27 pages, is the agreement with the state of South Dakota. And this was also approved by City Council to purchase 2 new buses. This was also ran in the newspaper, and the radios did a little blurb on this. We received awarding to purchase 2 new buses. The federal share will be $130,000, and our local match, which will be in the 2022 city budget, is $32,500 for a total of $162,500. So it's an 80-20 match. 80% is federal, 20% is local match for these 2 new buses. We're excited to replace these buses. We're not just purchasing new buses, we're going to be replacing buses due to the age and condition of our other buses. Right now, one of them does not have a working lift, and the repair and maintenance on these buses has been horrendous, so we're excited to get something new to replace them, same size and everything.
How many buses do we have till?
12.
Okay.
Usually when we get new buses, we utilize the old bus, and we transfer it, the nutrition program purchases, and we transfer it over to nutrition. We use it for our food bus. These 2 are so bad, we're not even going to do that. We're going to skip that step with these 2. They're not good
done.
enough. They're done.
Yeah, you need a lift for lunches.
Yes.
Anything else on that?
Any questions?
Transit Coordination Plan update.
Next in your packet is our coordination plan update. Just to give you an update on what this is, we are required by the federal government to have a coordination plan in place, and it has to be every 5 years we have to rewrite this coordination plan. Yearly, annually, we have to do an update to our coordination plan, how we're following our goals, and if we're meeting our goals, and what we are doing. Obviously, 2020 was a little harder with the pandemic. We did not meet many goals, so we went back through and redid a bunch of the goals and changed some of the goals. The 2021, we did a great job completing a lot of the goals, and in this, you'll see what we did, and what worked, and why, and any changes that we made. And that was submitted to the state. We got our approval for that.
Do you have any questions on that? United Way approved funds.
We received funding for next year from the United Way. Inserted in your packet is the letter we received from the United Way. Our James Valley Community Center received $7,500, and the volunteer program received $3,000, and the adult nutrition program received $1,000. The reason they received such a smaller amount is because we have a pretty good reserve in our nutrition account. But they still want to support us because the nutrition program is important. And when we get to our nutrition reports, we'll kind of give you a nice little story about how important nutrition is to the community.
Okay. Anybody got anything on United Way? Nope. Nutrition contracts.
So Amy attached the contracts that we have sent out to our nutrition catering sites. We addressed maybe the possibility of having Freeman added to our sites. The state contacted us about adding Freeman. It's Mimi's Diner. Unfortunately, they were not able to join us, and they had to close their restaurant doors altogether. So these are what we have for our contracts, so we need approval for these catering sites.
Anybody have any comments or questions about the ones that are on the list? If not, can I get a motion for approval?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second?
Bonnie made a motion. Anybody want a second?
I'll second.
I think you gotta talk really close to it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
So the nutrition tree we used to do inside the James Valley Community Center, we stopped doing the tree inside the building due to COVID. And what this tree is for the new members is we put names on a Christmas tree for people to donate meals to them because they are unable to afford the meals themselves. And a lot of times, even though you're not required to pay, it's just a suggested contribution, people still feel bad getting the meals if they can't afford them. When people donate the money and we can give them a meal ticket and say, hey, Merry Christmas, here's a free meal ticket for you, they'll utilize it and they're getting their nutrients and their healthy meals. So last year, because of COVID and the buildings being slow, we did snowflakes and we hung snowflakes up on our drive-up window. It worked tremendously because everybody driving up could see the snowflakes with the people's names and we had an explanation of what it was. We'd like to expand on these snowflakes, again, put them on the drive-up window, and then as well put them up in the windows in the building too. And we'll have snowflakes throughout the building and we'll see our snowflakes fall. As people come in, make a donation, we can take a snowflake down. So we'd like to see the snowflakes fall and go away.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
It
I
is.
like that.
Very good idea.
And just to kind of give you what, we used to always do the tree, so people had to come in. So in 2019, we had the tree, and we, raised $7,792. Well, last year with the snowflakes, because we don't have the traffic inside the building, and people that maybe normally would never have gave to it, that come up for transit tokens or whatever, would give to it. So we had, last year we raised $14,402. So that almost doubled it.
That's great.
It's great.
I know I have a lot of people that benefit from this program, so
Yeah.
appreciate it continuing.
So how much money do you need for this program?
Amy usually does a count on people who are in need. Have you done that count yet?
No.
No. Last year, I think we had 93 names, if I remember right, of people on the snowflakes. And then what we did is all the money that was donated, we split it amongst those 93 names. So some people, the total, everybody got the same amount of meals.
Okay.
And we have people all year long that that can't afford their meals, that we have to pay for with donations. So I have actually quite a few right now.
Yeah, we do have quite a few on the donation list.
Okay.
You don't need to do anything for that one, do we? Nope. Standard operating procedures.
With the DOT and nutrition program and just the city in general, we have standard operating procedures to operate for our accounting and revenue expenses. And this is nice to have that, make sure that we follow, as well as for any auditing purposes to make sure that they know this is what we are following. So attached in your packet is an updated version of our standard operating procedures, since we do have new staff, quite a few new staff in the office, and some things have changed with our programming. So we need approval of these new standard operating procedures for the Community Services Department.
I make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Holiday operations.
Okay, this is going to be the hardest one, the most discussion, I think. For the building, our programs, and for transit, we have been struggling with the holiday operating hours. With the city, we are granted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 full days and 2 half days of vacation time, of holidays. We have to take the holiday on the holiday. In the previous years, we were able to flex that holiday 30 days before or 30 days after. That has since changed this year with the union negotiations. The union negotiations, now we have to pay any employee who works on that holiday double time and a half. That has been really hard on our budget and really hard on our staff, because our staff still, even though they're getting paid double time and a half, they don't want to work on a holiday. They want the time off. They did prefer taking a flex day. They were good with that, but they are not. Right, as of now, our full-time staff don't want to work it, but they are willing and have been helping out. We've utilized part-time staff, but again, the part-time staff doesn't always work on those days either. So we're struggling. This last holiday was a big struggle that we had, the Native American Day. So in your packet, there is a listing of all of our holidays and what we are currently operating. I know dialysis is a big thing to be closed, but we looked at our listing, and of all of our dialysis patients, only 2 of them don't have alternate forms of transportation. The rest of the dialysis patients do have alternate forms, as in Brady or Fire Seal, they have their own vehicles. The other 2, what dialysis has done in the past is they have changed their schedule for dialysis. So what I am suggesting is for changes that would work best for us is being closed on Martin Luther King Day, having transit closed because it's always on a Monday. The next one would be President's Day. If February 21st is next year, being closed because it's always on a Monday. Good Friday. Offices close at noon, but the buses ran all day. I would suggest stopping the buses at noon too, and that won't affect dialysis as much. They can fit that in as well, and especially since it's always on a Friday. Juneteenth, which is June 19th, will continue to operate on that day because there's not as many businesses and stuff closed on that one. Native American Day is always on a Monday, be closed on that day. And remain open on Veterans Day because that's not always on a Friday, it's a different day of the week every year. Those are the suggestions I am making to holiday operations. Another part of that goes with our fairs. Right now, we are operating at the $2 per fare, regular weekday rides, not before after hours. For the Juneteenth and for the Veterans Day, if we are going to stay open, and we have to pay our staff the double time and a half, I would suggest having our passengers pay the weekend and after hours rate of the $3 per ride, which is our red tokens. Those are my recommendations. Now I'll leave it up to you for discussion.
So just to clarify, what you're proposing is adding, as far as under this transit closed, okay? Adding Martin Luther King, President's Day, noon on Good Friday.
Yep.
Native American Day.
Correct.
And Veterans Day?
Nope,
No,
Veterans Day
not-
both. Veterans Day and Juneteenth, we would stay open.
Okay,
And they-
that's what I wanted to clarify.
They would both be the red tokens.
And they would both be red tokens. They would be the $3 a ride instead of the 2. And the biggest reason I left those 2 is because they're floating days of the week. It could be in the middle of the week. It's not a Friday, Monday type deal. It's not always on the same day.
not looking for exact numbers, but ballpark, what is the ridership during those holidays?
It depends on the holiday and if there's school or not. Fortunately, we're lucky, we had no school. The last one we had, the Native American Day, we usually operate with about 9 buses a day, and we operated with 3.5-ish, so the ridership was down. But we had to pay 4 drivers double time and a half. And unfortunately, our grant that we get from the state, we have a set amount that we can use for operating and administrative pay. And right now, we're maxed out on that because of overtime. So everything above and beyond what's in our grant, the city has to pay for.
So are you thinking like with the red tokens, like on those half days, or those half days would still be the yellow tokens?
No, I still do the yellow tokens on that because we only get the half day, because we'll be closing when it be
Okay.
after hours.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, really, red tokens on a holiday doesn't sound.
And another
to
piece,
me.
that goes with that is our office, our dispatch. I mean, our dispatch is closed on those days, and that makes it really difficult for the drivers to operate when there's no dispatcher in the office. And it's confusing for our public too, because our public doesn't know who to contact when the buses aren't running, or the buses are running, but we don't have anybody in the office answering the phone. We have the cell phone, the after hours phone, but that's very confusing to the public.
So just so I have this correct, the only holidays you want to add back in are the Juneteenth Day and Veterans Day?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on that?
Our biggest concern, like I said, was for dialysis. And because they have no other means of transportation, but the people that we are currently serving, except there's 2 that don't have other forms of transportation, and they have in the past accommodated sending them on different days for dialysis. For those 2 people, the rest of them utilize their other forms of transportation they have available.
Which is something they have to do on the regular holidays anyway already.
Correct.
So it's not like it's a total inconvenience as to something they don't have to usually deal with, so
Correct.
makes sense to me.
That's a good point. That's,
Any other comments, or do we want to do a motion, or?
I would say, why don't we try it this year and see what happens? Or this next year. You can always change it.
Correct. You want to make that a motion, Tanya?
Yep.
Thanks.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll give it a try. That'll work out. Okay, next on our list is the JVC.
Nope, 2021 holidays.
Oh, sorry, 2021 holiday.
So I know we were just talking about holidays,
Confuse me.
but of course, 2021 is really confusing this year because of how the holidays land with the day of the week. We have November 11th coming up, which is a Friday. Or sorry, it's a Thursday this week. That's a holiday. We have December 23rd and 24th, which the 23rd is a Thursday where we'll be closed half a day, And the 24th will be closed all day because it's a Friday, the holiday is actually on a Saturday. We have to move the days ahead or behind if they're on the weekends. And then we have December 31st instead of January 1st. So I need your input on what we're going to be operating this year because of the holidays. The Veterans Day, that Friday, that's one that or that Thursday, sorry, that's the one that we just decided to leave as is. So we'd be okay still operating that day. It's just we're going to, again, struggle and have to pay for it. But the December 23rd and 24th, that Thursday and Friday, when the city is getting, that would be our official holidays, not operating on being done at noon on the 23rd, being closed on the 24th, and being closed on the 25th, which is a Saturday, and being open the 26th, which is Sunday. The next one would be December 31st, being closed on the 31st, which is a Friday. And then it's up to you on the 1st, if you want to be open. We won't have much traffic on the 1st, that Saturday, but we'd be open on the 2nd, which would be the Sunday. So that's up to you what you think we should operate.
Are pretty typical. I mean, like our offices are going to be closed on those days too, so.
Right.
Because of the holidays. Do you have a lot of people that have work schedules?
As of now, no. We talked to LifeQuest and Career Connections, and
Okay.
a lot of them will be closing during that time as well.
One good thing of COVID.
Yes, yes.
A lot of those places are closing on holidays again.
All right.
And if I read it right, Walmart is not going to be operating during Black Friday, or maybe Thursday. Just that Thursday, they're not operating on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
and I think they're taking time off for Christmas as well. So
That's good.
again, my suggestion would to remain open on November 11th. Close at noon on the 23rd, close on the 24th, close on the 25th, and close on December 31st and January 1st.
Need a motion for that? I would make a motion for that schedule.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay. Now Thanksgiving, do you have Thanksgiving off too? Is that?
We have Thanksgiving Day
Okay.
off, but the following day we're on.
Got to run everybody around shopping.
Yes.
There's no meals that day,
There's
though.
no meals.
I'm okay with that. Okay. Now to JVCC membership fee for 2022.
So we're working on our membership cards and membership applications for the James Valley Community Center coming up for next year. And now that Maria is gone, I'm divulging into her job and learning more, and it's what she's, wow, busy, does a lot. When I did newsletters this last month, we spent a lot of time and money printing them off, folding them, and mailing them with regular postage. My suggestion is, I think we currently have 20 people I email the newsletter to, and the rest I mail everything to. My suggestion would be a $5 discount to have your newsletter emailed to you versus mailed to you. In postage alone, that would save $6.60 per person as of now until postal rates possibly go up. We never know. So my suggestion would be a $5 discount if you have your newsletter emailed to you versus mail.
Sounds reasonable. Sounds like a good deal for everybody. And they don't have to, so.
Right, and they don't have to, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a way to get a $5 discount.
You need a motion for that one?
I'll make a motion for that one.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Carried. Anything else with that one, Jessica? Nope. Okay. How much are the fees per year right now?
Single is 40 and couple is 75. So it'll be 35 and 70.
Okay. Citizens input, I do not see anybody back there, so I think we'll carry on. Department reports and updates, Palace Transit.
Okay, because we haven't had a quorum for the last few months, we have July's ridership report in here and August, and that's it, okay. So end of year is for transit is September. And when that comes next month, we'll have, that way you'll know kind of where we ended the year of fiscal year 2021 versus 2020. But everything is on the up. We're doing fantastic with rides this year.
Things are getting a little back to normal,
Right.
finally. Okay, anybody have any questions on that one?
Which it will look different because we don't have Head Start this year.
Correct.
Okay, no other discussion. I'll move on to Mitchell Volunteer Program.
Not just simply a report of how many volunteers we have and kind of where they've been volunteering at the last couple months.
Okay, any comments or discussion on that?
Do we see that picking up as well somewhat, or?
Yes and no. You still got a lot of volunteers that are skeptical to go do stuff like that. And then there's a lot of our nonprofit stations that just aren't utilizing it as much right now because they're skeptical of having all these volunteers come in. So it is a little, but it's not full blown yet.
Definitely still COVID related. Yeah. Okay, adult nutrition.
In your packets, you got August and September, where we're at with nutrition. It gives you all the sites where we're at for each month, and then on top, kind of where we're at for the year. On the back sides, it breaks down our dine cards and our second meals and all the sites.
And I would like to give a little story about our nutrition program and how the nutrition program is more than just meals. Recently, we had a participant who used to get the meals from the drive-up window, not show. And whenever a person doesn't show, Amy will call them and make sure that they're still coming and make sure that everything's okay. Well, this person, Amy called and called and called. They didn't answer. Amy called that person's emergency contact. The emergency contact then called that person. Couldn't get a hold of them. They called for a public safety check on this person, and this person was not in good shape.
Not doing well.
Yeah, they took this person, the participant, to the hospital, told the emergency contact, you need to come up here now, because the person lived far away. Person came up, and the participant ended up being released from the hospital in hospice, and this was on a Thursday, and then the participant passed on a Saturday.
Yeah, he got admitted on Thursday, went home on Friday to hospice, and passed away on Saturday.
If we wouldn't have, this person doesn't have much contact with other people in the community. We're pretty much this participant's only constant contact. If our program was not here and this person didn't participate in the program, we don't know how long they would have been at their house suffering or even passed away, and nobody would have found them. So I'd just like to extend that the nutrition program is important for nutrition, but it's also more than just nutrition. It's a vital source for the community, especially those that don't have family and friends around to care for them.
Thank you for sharing that.
And that person's emergency contact was very grateful for Amy.
I imagine so. I know even at my building too, a lot of people wonder, because we can't do just welfare, checks just to check on people, but I do make the comment, if you're getting lunches Monday through Friday, and we're used to you coming down at a certain time or a certain, having them delivered to your apartment stuff, we will check on you if you're, not not accepting for those two, whereas we have a lot of people that aren't necessarily every day or whatever, so it's not uncommon, but those that do get them on a regular basis, we do kind of, have more of a follow-through with that also.
But kind of what we do too, especially like with our takeouts, because a lot of them are single people. A lot of them don't have family around, so
Yep.
we're the only
Great.
ones that see them to know if they're okay or not okay, or,
It's nice to know you guys do that.
yeah.
It is a need for the people that don't have those contacts, and there are a lot more than you think of. I've learned in my position over the years. Okay. So next, we're moving on to James Valley Community Center.
Because it's me doing it, you're not going to get an activity report like Maria used to do. So Amy's just attaching the activities calendar for me. We're plugging away as best as we can. I've been putting a plea out for people to help, to volunteer, and somebody to please apply for the job. So if you know anybody who would be a great part-time activities coordinator, we can certainly use them. Please send them our way. We could definitely use somebody.
You could tell them about the dance issues.
Oh, we had a dance last month, and we lost money. Bands are expensive these days. We used to pay $100, $150 per dance to the band. Now they're anywhere between $300 to $600. We had a dance in October. We lost money, and we have decided in the meantime there will be no more dances until we can reevaluate, and we won't do that reevaluation until I have another activities coordinator to help with this, because I just don't have the time, along with all of my other duties.
Yeah.
So there is upset people because there's no dances anymore, but we didn't have, the participation was low, and we just can't afford to lose money like that every month.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
Oh, to go along with that activity calendar, we've had Dakota Wesleyan nursing students come in and give presentations. They've been wonderful to come in. And one of our participants, who's not usually the happiest person, was thrilled by the last presentation. And she talked about it forever. She asked questions. She was just extremely thrilled with the Dakota Wesleyan students. So we're happy to have them come and give those presentations.
Good. Anything else?
So the next meeting date falls on the holiday?
Yep. Do you want to do it the week before, week after? If anything, I would suggest the week after the 18th.
Should work.
Does that work
Good
for
right
you,
now.
Tanya Whitney?
Looks
What
good right
date
now.
are you thinking?
Thursday, November 18.
That should work. Well, I won't know until it gets closer for sure, but yeah.
Also, was there anything with elections? Did we need to do anything with that? I had saw that on one of the agendas that, one of the meetings I missed, so, I don't remember.
Oh, the free rights to the polls.
Oh, yeah.
There's a primary election this year, isn't there, in November? Well, we'll probably just do the free rights to the polls like we always do.
Okay. Okay. Nothing else is to be discussed. Meeting will be adjourned.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Tanya Whitney, for joining online.
Yep, thanks, everybody.